What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, everybody. This is your host. I am Black Mamba, but my new name is Medusa Maybe. Where's my thing? There it is. I have to get my placement together. Recently changed my social media moniker, or I'm sorry, my gamer tag moniker. So trying to be a little bit more uniform. So I am the still same person, still Tiffany, but it will be Medusa Maybe from now on until I feel like changing my name again. So we are back with our end of year 2020 wrap up podcast, where we're just going to talk about a little bit of everything today, kind of flying by the seat of our pants a little bit. I obviously have my usual suspects, my lovely cast of nerds here. So I will let everybody introduce themselves. So Cassio?
Thank you, Medusa. Do we call you Medusa now?
Yes.
Just Medusa.
Yes.
Okay,
Please.
okay. Hey, Medusa, thank you. What's up, everybody? This is Cassio of Cassio Logic. Thank you guys for tuning in. Also want to thank Honey Julian for letting me come and talk some nerd stuff with him. So, yeah, you guys take it easy. Thank you.
It's Jansen back again with everybody for the first time since like 2017. But it feels good to be back.
Basically.
Yeah, it feels great to be back.
Follow Marvel.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy, the Fall of Marvel. Y'all know me as one of the mods in Planet EJOBN, as well as other stuff and all that good stuff. You guys see me in there, but we ready to chop it up and really have a good time as this year comes to a close. And I say that with being optimistically cautious because we don't know what's on the other side of
No.
December 31st. We
really
don't.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So just let's be optimistically cautious, everyone.
Toku?
All right. Hey, Rangers, Riders, and Magical Girls. It's Toku Terry once again. And it's the end of the year, and oh my God, are we happy to see it? 2020, we won't. 2020, we wish we could say we will mourn your passing, but our mothers told us not to lie. Anyway, we're just gonna chill out today, have some fun, make some jokes, look back on the things that have been, and look ahead to the things that will be. Stay tuned.
Oh my God, his intro is amazing. Like it gets more amazing every time. I'm gonna work on that in January. I'm gonna work on. So as everybody said, this is the end, our last one of 2020. We will not miss this year at all, not even a little bit. This year was trash. It was trash, just all the way trash. Okay, so I'm gonna get this out the way really fast. To anybody out there who is either battling COVID or has lost a loved one to COVID, my condolences, our condolences go out to you. It has been a very, very rough year, and we just hopefully there's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. We don't care who's shining it at this point. They just hope, it's just we just need to go up. We just need to go up. So again, as Fallen Marvel said, we are what'd you say?
Cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic, but we are looking forward to a new year because this year was trash. So there goes that. So what'd you say?
I thought you said something like optimistically cautious.
He said optimistically cautious.
Maybe I did. I don't know. Both of them.
It was something. Big words. See, this is what happens when you use big words all the time. Big words. That's what I'm saying. It's something. It mean the same thing, I think. So it was trash. Today it was trash. So this show is kind of like a free for all a little bit. Everybody's gonna have a little bit of time to just talk about whatever it is that they want to talk about, and just kind of flowing and having a conversation with each other. We don't really have too many topics that are planned. So he just muted. I was gonna say Cassio's up first, but since he just muted, Jensen, you want to go ahead and start with yours? So you were talking about Batman, I believe, right?
Absolutely. So it's not even a new topic or just oh, this is a mind blowing topic. It's just a topic I feel that you can always talk about between Batman and Nightwing, Dick Grayson, Red Hood, Jason Todd, Robin, Red Robin, Tim Drake, and Robin Damian. Like that dynamic that he has of each different one. Much as people hate Batman, well, not even hate, but just hate his fan base more than the character. And some Terrence will probably agree, a little bit of plot armor he has going on at times. You know, between him, with him and the family. And for instance, like him, first of all, him and Dick Grace, the eldest, even has left and came back kind of again here and there. Some people feel that's part of the more better relationship out of them. I personally feel him and Tim Drake have the best relationship to me. Of all the Robins, well, you know what? No, I'm sorry, I missed one. It was Terrence said, man, what was the girl that was a Robin? Was it Stephanie?
Yeah, Stephanie Brown was the
Stephanie
female
Brown.
Robin.
Okay, I apologize. Stephanie Brown was a Robin, so I think she's the only woman to ever be a Robin, if I'm not mistaken, Terrence.
She's the only canonical female Robin. There's also Carrie Kelly from the Frank Miller universe, but we don't count for the Frank Miller verse.
We don't count that
here
no, sir,
because screw Frank Miller.
Okay. Well, let me rephrase that because I know she was a Robin, but I'm not familiar with her story as Robin compared to the others. So I'm just gonna stick with the guys. No disrespect to the girl, but
she was only Robin. It's cool. She was only a Robin for like 6 months.
That explains a lot. But I feel him and Tim Drake have the best relationship because as he stated, that's the most detective one of all the four. Is Drake. Grayson came into the fold. His parents had the tragic accident. Jason Todd came into the fold, who has the most tragic one of everybody, from his dad. And then it was because I did the podcast. It was revealed that his dad was just kind of doing this and that little jobs every now and then, with just to try and make ends meet with different gangs. I believe he worked for like some major ones like Two-Face and the Penguin. Then of course Drake came along, who had probably the most humble one of all the people that became Robins eventually. Like as some people know, some people don't know. He deduced who Dick Grayson was in Batman once just by his own IQ. He was like, oh, wait a minute. This makes sense. This makes sense. Okay, you're Batman and you're right. And at the time you was Robin. So it was like, wow. Batman was like, well, wow, okay. Well, since you know now, might as well go and bring you in. Damian had an interesting one. It was the case of Batman. You have a son, but I didn't want to tell you because how he came about, which was I'm not going to get into how Damian was conceived. So we're just going to leave it at that. But just know Batman didn't know he had a son, a biological son. I'm just going to keep it at that. Y'all can look it up yourself. I'm not going to go into it. And so Damian, and the first thing Damian says to Batman was, "I thought you was tall." So that should tell you how the relationship was going to be between everybody. But he loved everybody equally, even in the Battle of the Cow, where they showed all different ones training. I will kind of say more really, really on hands with Damian per se. Obviously the youngest, the baby, and I feel Damian he gets pulled in different ways from what his mom was doing, from what his grandfather Ra's al Ghul was doing, to trying to prove he is the best of all the Robins, to just doing his own thing, in which recently he has left being a Robin. He's no longer a Robin. So right now there's not a Robin at all in canon right now. Nobody has the title. And I don't know what the title Damian goes by, just Damian Wayne. Like he's not even with the Titans at all. He's not even with the Titans right now. He left them too as well. He disbanded them.
You don't think Damian Wayne is the best Robin? Is not the best
No.
Robin?
No.
I will.
I mean, he's not the
co-sign.
worst. He's not the worst fighter of the Robins, but personality-wise, he is the worst Robin.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah.
Trust
me. Like in
I will
hand-to-hand
go out
combat.
on a limb. I will go out on a limb and say that I was rather satisfied when Blue Beetle cooked him in Teen Titans versus Justice League.
I think everybody
So I kind of had a smile on my face when that happened because he deserved
anytime
it.
you could cook Damian in a fight, everybody's gonna love it.
Mhm.
Oh, you mean what?
Yeah.
Literally every single one of his brothers have done.
Literally every one of them.
Yeah, every single one of the former Robins has beaten him up. I think even Stephanie gave him the hands once. I gotta check.
Yeah, you gotta check on that. But
Yeah.
and then with first Grayson left, he wanted to be his own person. I think that's when he first came with the Titans. Was when he left being a Robin and became Nightwing.
Yeah, that's
Jason
what
came. Thank you. And then Jason came along. My personal favorite, maybe not the favorite Robin, but my personal favorite member of the Bat family next to Azrael. He came along, the rough start, May's home for the boys, and then stealing one of the greatest nursery rhymes of all time, Batmobile lost his wheel, Robin got away, which is always funny because they showed the comic where the Batmobile is in Jason's background where he was at as an ode to that rhyme where he stole the Batmobile, the wheels off the Batmobile. He came along, and then, of course, with the whole Joker thing, got killed. And then with the infamous Superboy Prime punch, Jason is brought back from the dead because of that reality-altering punch. And, of course, he was found. He was wandering, found. Shiva and the rest of the League of Assassins, Ra's al Ghul, trained him back up. And Shiva sent him around the world, training other different people. Then he goes back to Gotham, and now he's in shock because Joker's still alive. Like, you didn't avenge me. And by the way, the people that don't know, Jason has had Joker dead to rights twice before he actually came back. Well, when he came back, Batman saved the Joker actually.
Right.
The other one, Jason actually goes up to where the Joker's in the circus. He finds Joker and beats him unconscious. He didn't kill him, but he beat him literally unconscious. He went to his own crib and just beats him. And then recently, with the three Jokers thing, Jason actually has killed one of the Jokers. It wasn't was the one that actually killed him? We don't know, but he has literally on panel now has killed one of the Jokers. And then that dynamic right there, coming back. And then now Drake comes along, which actually ties back into Jason because Jason found out it was another Robin. And the hotel he was in, he flips out because, Roz and Shiva had security there watching over Jason, but he flips out and kills some of the security, knocks the other ones out because he raged out because he found out it was another Robin after him, which was Tim Drake. And then Tim Drake comes along, the most mellow one of all of them.
I mean, I would agree because he's never beaten the Joker to death in a fit of rage like Dick Grayson did.
That too.
I mean,
that as well.
I will say that Tim, I think, is probably, to me, he's second to Grayson because, I like Grayson. Like, Grayson's a dope character, aside from how he has been written a couple times, where he did some questionable things personally. But other than that,
in his
but
I will defend.
I'm not gonna go into that. I'm just saying.
Right.
Tim, I think, is definitely my second favorite, just on the strength that he is probably the smartest one.
Oh, without a doubt.
Out of the group, and on top of that, he's like the most stable one out of everyone. Like he's
the one that
literally
has
the
died.
normal one in the Bat family, essentially. So, and I think it was I can't remember what storyline that was, but that one storyline where it's him from the future as Batman.
Detective Comics.
Was it okay?
Yeah,
like that
I don't know what
storyline was
but that
actually pretty dope, and it was just like
that was the one where everybody thought Tim had died, but he wasn't dead. He was just, I don't recall, but he wasn't dead, but he wasn't there.
right, and
but yes,
and whatever future that was, he becomes Batman, and he is like literally a whole problem, and it's like
he took the whole family out. I love how he pointed out to Jason how he still had an old injury that he didn't know he recovered from, and he exposed Jason. That was I'll say that was an emotional arc because everybody saw what became of Tim, who probably had honestly the best. As we all know, each Robin outside of Stephanie has went on to become a Batman in a different. We have seen him come Batman. Damian, we had like two different stories where he was a Batman. One where he literally burnt down Gotham, and I think Tim actually had to kill Damian. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, in the storyline you're talking about.
Oh wow!
When Tim came back, I think he had to actually kill Damian because he just had to. And Jason actually ended up. I think he just died over time. He ended up losing a leg and like became addicted to like drugs. I do believe because he had like this what Tim said, this legendary fight with over like 200 assassins, and afterwards it just broke him, and then he just like succumbed back to the streets and just died over time. I think Grayson just left and just walked away off panel or something like that. So then Damian comes along and just gets into it with everybody. Superman got into it. Superman, Shazam, the Robins, just everybody. He just had, but you can't really knock him because how he was raised. From birth, he was a straight killer. And he just had this, even though Ra's al Ghul was one of the richest people on the planet, probably just in DC Universe in general, but just how they raised him. And I think he was supposed to even be the next vessel for Ra's al Ghul with that body he has now. Just literally like goes away. So, just each dynamic he has with each one is just, he loves them equally, but he like just real life parents. Each one you got to raise and talk to a different way, and then of course the sibling rivalry between all of them. But ironically, all of them actually work good together in a fight. They're trained the same way. Everybody talk about Jason being a hothead, but he actually respects Grayson where he'll like, I've seen him do combos where they don't even speak. They just instantly know each other. Tim, Jason and Tim works, Tim and Jason have a good understanding with each other, as we seen Jason explain to Tim on panel. Then, Grayson has his racial with everybody else, and Damian, who respects Grayson out of all the other Robins and hates Damian and hates Jason out of all the other Robins, ironically. Both of them are almost really the same person to me, kind of, honestly. So it's just an interesting dynamic between all of them. But it doesn't matter. Cousin Azrael is the best one out the Batman family. I just like to throw Azrael in when I can. That's the best one. The only one that has beaten Batman, beat Grayson with Tim Drake together. And we all know Red Hood and Damien don't want those problems.
He does want those problems. You don't know.
What?
I said maybe he does want those problems. Just because he's going to lose doesn't mean he ain't going to try.
Jason,
no, they're not going to back down. That's a given.
Yeah, but anybody that picks up the back computer and throws it, and everybody's look like, who's gonna go stop him? Yeah, that's your cousin. That's cousin. That's cousin right there. I don't know why they don't put him more in the bad family, but that's that cousin that comes in out of town that need to regulate stuff. That's
Right.
Azriel.
Yeah, I think like
And I think that will conclude my talk
like I think
for
like
Batman
my
and Robin.
yeah. I think like my first introduction to Azrael was in the game, and like I didn't really know a whole lot about him, but like thing.
Which game? Oh, you talking about Batman
Arkham Knight,
Asylum, Arkham City?
Arkham Knight, the third one. Well, technically fourth, but whatever.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but that was my first introduction to him, and I just thought like it was okay. This is very different, but I kind of like this idea of someone who is doing his own thing, but is trying to take up the mantle, or sees himself as someone who can take up the mantle that Batman has of protecting the city or whatever, whether he misguided or whatever. So I kind of thought that was really cool, like in a way that there's someone out there like that, to whereas, because typically, Bruce is very, very territorial, to where he's like, no, you can't fight crime in my city or whatever and all that. You know how he tends to get.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
I
I
thought
never understood that, because he can't do all of Gotham. I never understood why he was so territorial. Like, you can't cover all of Gotham by yourself. Like,
because Bruce is mentally ill.
I mean, I get that. I just never understood why he had, like, but I guess some heroes are always a little territorial when somebody comes in trying to fight crime.
Listen.
Yeah, but Bruce is very territorial.
It's part of the mental illness. It's not supposed to make sense. He's mentally ill. This is his fixation.
But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, Paula Marvel. Go ahead. I just always
save the city.
And it's like, you're kind of not, though. Like, you're kind of not. Like, you're kind of not. You know what I'm saying? Like, he always says that, but you're kind of not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you do more good at Bruce
That's
Wayne
a whole other conversation dealing with Batman.
Yeah, it is. I guess. Yeah, it is.
But I think the Azrael character I thought was kind of interesting, which was why of one of many reasons I stopped watching the Gotham series, because I thought the way they did it in there was kind of stupid. So if any of you guys saw Gotham, I believe this was either season 2. It was either season 2 or 3. I can't remember which one, but it was a guy who was an antagonist for most of one season. Then he comes back somehow. I don't know if he came back from the dead or what, and he assumes the identity of Azrael, and then freaking young Bruce sees him doing this. Like it's like all this little stuff that's supposed to like shape Bruce into becoming Batman at like 13. So it's just
okay. Which, by the way, again, was whack. Like that's a whole. Maybe that'll be part of my 20 minutes, because like the show. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was about to go into a rant.
You good? I'm just saying that was. I'm just saying, like, just thinking about my overall introduction into that character and me learning about him. So it's like, again, it's like one of those. That's just one of the things I had to bring up, because again, that's kind of going all into like my introduction to the character, because I haven't been that familiar with him. So, but I just think his dynamic with I guess technically he's in the Bat family, but not really. But yeah, overall, pretty much my order of favorites as far as like, characters I knew that don the costume is Grayson, Tim, Jason, then Damian. So that's order from favorite to least.
As long as we all agree that Misfit is the very bottom of the bottom tier, it's fine.
You said who's bottom tier?
Oh man, you don't remember Misfit, the little teleporting girl who was a Batgirl fan, who they led into the Bat family, and she sucked at life.
Literally.
That's a new one on me. That's a new one on me.
I'll
Yeah,
send you.
Okay.
exactly. She's not worth talking about. My parents were talking about her briefly a little bit a couple days ago, but that conversation was definitely brief.
Yeah.
And and Azrael is part of the Bat family. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
He is definitely part of the Bat family.
Basically, any conversation about Misfit in the Bat family is what about you ever seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged where they go what about X and then somebody else goes what about X? That is every conversation about Misfit in the Bat family. Like, and that's all the people in the Bat family ranked. What about Misfit? What about Misfit?
She's like Meg, like Family Guy.
Yeah, basically.
Shut up, man.
The afterthought.
I mean, obviously, I never knew nothing about her before tonight, so that's my first introduction to it, and already I'm just like, okay, apparently this character definitely was an afterthought, and there you go. So, I don't know, man. Like, oh, you know what? Speaking of which, it's kind of not very, kind of stays somewhat on topic or whatever. Okay, I know there was another Batwoman besides Kate, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me go into my mind palace. Well, there's Kathy Kane, who was the first Batwoman, who Kate Kane is the niece of, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Cassandra Kane was Batwoman first.
No. Cassandra Kane with a C. Look, Kathy Kane is Kathy with a K. Kathy Kane with a K. Cassandra Kane with the two C's is a Batgirl. She's the second Batgirl.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, there's been 3 Batgirls. There's Barbara, Cassandra, and then Stephanie.
Okay. So, wait, Stephanie Brown became Batgirl?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she's actually much better as a Batgirl than she ever was as a Robin.
I mean, I guess so. Like, it's funny because like last time I even thought about like Dark Knight Returns, it was kind of weird how she kind of became Robin.
Oh no, you're thinking of Carrie Kelly.
Oh,
we're talking about Stephanie Brown here. Stephanie Brown became Batgirl.
All right, like, look, you see how well informed I am on that subject. So I'm learning.
I'm not even that. So like I'm gonna chime in like super quick because I'm the non-comic reader at the group. So I have to go in terms of me getting exposed and how much I like them. So obviously Dick Grayson is my number one. Okay.
We know you like that Dick Grayson.
Just real quick.
we remember.
Yeah, just real quick. Fallen Marvel, you were right. Just real quick.
Fallen remembers.
I like that. Damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just real quick.
What's up?
Legendary
real quick. You were right. Carrie Kelly did become Batwoman after she was Robin and Catgirl, not Batgirl, Catgirl.
Wow.
Because Frank Miller sucked at writing.
I didn't see that coming, but okay.
I think we've all established pretty definitively that Frank Miller is not a good writer.
So I have, just so y'all know, so I'm gonna get my list out the way.
Mm-hmm.
So Dick Grayson, the Red Hood, Jason Todd. I like Jason Todd because I understood him being so pissed all the goddamn. Like I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like I completely understood it, and I just, you know what I'm saying? Like at some point, and again, I know it's against the code and whatever, but at some point, you just like, okay, Batman, just kill him. Just kill him. You know what I'm saying? Just kill him. You know what I'm saying? Todd got that shit done. Todd got that shit done. You know, and I have mad respect for Todd. I do like Tim Drake, although I have to admit, I don't know as much about him. Damian, because I just hate Damian's attitude. Like I get how he was raised and all that. I hate his mouth. Like I don't like it. So, you know, he's Damien's at the bottom, but yeah. So I would probably my top two is Dick Grayson and Jason Todd are my top two. So that's my quick non-comic reader opinion. So.
That is
I will say to Damien's credit that there was a lot of positive things to say about him in the Super Sons run with him and Jonathan.
Yes,
but I haven't read it personally. But from what I hear, a lot of people who've read that series in its entirety is that there's a lot, like there were some really good things that happened in that run. So, I will give him his credit somewhere, but as a whole, just
stop being a dick for 2 seconds, like just 2 seconds.
He basically
have you met his mother?
Listen and learn. I know who his mother was. I know who she was, and I know what happened or whatever. The thing that Jensen said to Google, because we're not going to talk about it. So I know what happened or whatever. He's just a little asshole. I don't have. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just don't have patience for little asshole kids. I don't care who they are. I don't care what genre they in. I don't care. I don't have patience for little asshole kids. That might be the mom in me talking. I don't know. I don't.
Hey, ain't no wrong with that. Like I'm with
yeah. After a while, it gets old, and you're like. Have you learned yet? Like, haven't you learned to be a jerk to everybody? Like,
if you would stop talking and listen, maybe you would have understood.
You think his personality would mature at some point? You know what I mean? Well, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's why I said when Blue Beetle damn near cooked his ass, I had a smile on my face because he needed that. He needed that. So
every ass whooping that's coming his direction. Every one of them. You squaring up with everybody. But no, out of the 5, I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in real quick. Out of Robin's, my favorite is Dick Grayson. And my second favorite, I actually really liked Tim Drake. I'm not sure how close his rendition, the rendition of Tim Drake was in the I guess in the Warner Brothers cartoon. Mm-hmm. How close that was to
wait a minute, which one?
Depiction. The Adventures of Batman and Robin. The Adventures of Batman and Robin.
That was when it was still kind of continuing on from the animated series and whatnot.
Yeah.
I may have missed that. Okay.
Yeah, I love that young Tim Drake. I love that Robin. I absolutely love that Robin. Young Tim Drake from Adventures of Batman and Robin is my second favorite Robin, but Tim Drake gonna take the cake. So
I like this color scheme. More so, I think that was what kind of did it because his color scheme was more just red and black, mostly. Whereas Dick had the traditional red, green, and yellow. So it was because his I don't know, his color scheme was a lot better to me to where he didn't look like a visible target compared to Batman. So
really quick. So speaking of cartoons, where does Terry McGinnis fit in all of this?
Batman
Beyond. He's a
future. Way in the future.
Sorry, that's what it was.
He's a possible future.
So he's never been a Robin or anything like that. Okay.
He's put it this way: if you look it up, he's very close to the family. For those that have seen the full series, well, actually, it was at the end of Justice League when they revealed that. But yeah. Terry McGinnis is very close to the family.
I might have see, and it's been a while since I've watched I may have to go. I think it's still available, so I can go because I was watching it a couple of years ago. So I might have to go watch it again. So I can understand.
I think they just added that to HBO Max recently.
HBO. Well, since I'm a user for 30 days.
He's literally just a clone of Batman. They gather.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, well, going by the cartoon, they got his DNA. Bruce Lee's blood everywhere. And the commissioner, I forgot the lady's name. It wasn't Waller, it was the other lady. Well, going by the cartoon lore, she felt it always needs to be a Batman. So getting blood samples, she said getting blood samples from Bruce was not hard because he has blood everywhere, crime scene.
Damn.
But he literally has a biological dad, but he
They overwrote his dad's DNA.
Thank you. Yes, he was born naturally, but they
Which
overwrote
I'm
his DNA.
pretty sure is a war crime.
It's something. It's something for sure.
Yeah, and so now, Tiff, if you didn't know, he
Haddock
actually
really
is
does
in
just
comics
casually
now.
commit war
Wait,
crimes.
what did you say,
Batman
Jensen?
Beyond is actually Terry McGee's actually in comics now. They brought him. You know, it got so Batman Beyond got so popular, they brought him to the actual comics about 3 years ago.
It's about time. I mean, damn, Batman Beyond was out like a minute ago. I'm
Right,
surprised
90s.
it took this long. Yeah, I'm surprised it took this long to get him in there.
Watching it now, like that show actually holds up just as much as the original Batman series.
Yes, it does. I also come out was curious because whenever we're talking about like just the world of Batman, the world of Gotham in total, nobody really talks about Terry. And maybe because he's not he's recently in the comics, according to Jensen. Jensen just told that. But I mean, his cartoon was like, out in the 90s, and his cartoon was huge too. It was very popular. So I'm actually surprised that he's not included, in these discussions when you talk about the Batman.
It's for the same reason you don't hear people talk about the Legion of Superheroes, despite the Legion of Superheroes cartoon being so big in 2004 to 2006. No one cares about the future characters. They only want to talk about the present characters.
Pretty much that,
right?
Because even comics, Terry's still in the future. He hasn't even met the current he hasn't.
Is Old Man Bruce still his handler though? Because he was in the cartoon.
Yes, but sometimes he switches out with Old Man Dick Grayson.
Oh man, Dick.
Oh, that's cool.
I bet you that man ages beautifully. Don't ruin my fantasy. Okay, we gotta move on to another topic. I caught all y'all off guard with that, didn't I?
I don't think you.
Oh, is he going by Rick? Is he still going by Rick right now?
No, Dick's back.
Okay. So Rick Grayson gone now. Okay.
Okay. So we gonna transition into Cassio's because we gotta keep up on time a little bit so we don't go too far over. So Cassio, go ahead and it's your time. You got the circle.
Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I just want to talk about movies in general. That's really what I want to talk about, just movies in general.
Not Wonder Woman though.
Right, never right.
We won't talk about.
I just saw Soul. Right. I just saw Soul or whatever. And I think it's a really, really cool movie and I recommend it. It's really honestly refreshing. Black nerds here. You know what I'm saying? It's refreshing to see Black people animated. And it's just engaging in everyday life and just like, what I'm saying? It's just really cool to see it. You know what I mean? Just really cool to just kind of see it like, like Black people just being Black people. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, it's just beautiful to see. Like I know it sounds like it's something pretty small, but no, it's a beautiful thing to kind of like sit and watch it and really kind of like just take it in. Like they really, you know what I mean? They really kind of gave us the story, So no, it's a cool one. If no one has seen Soul yet, I definitely recommend it. But
I haven't seen it yet, but and you don't have to worry about spoiling. It's okay if you spoil, but I do have a question about. So I've been watching discussions on Facebook where everything gets ruined every day, and about and I know the premise of the movie, right? So I've seen the previews. I know the premise of the movie and what it's about. So how do you feel about the argument where people talk about that once again you have a main Black character spend a lot of time not being Black? Like what happened with The Princess and the Frog, what happened in The Spies Like Us, which was Will Smith's movie where he was basically a bird, I'm saying, most of the movie. They say that it happens for a decent amount of time in Soul. Story and everything aside or whatever, but how do you feel about, do you think that it's a valid observation in some ways? Or are people just too woke sometimes?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I gotta be honest. It's it just seems like there's a lot of we're working up to, what I'm saying, these these I guess these strides we're making right now in film. Like Black people are making a lot of strides in film right now. We're building up from where we were before. We didn't really have a voice. We didn't really have a lot of platforms and outlets to tell our stories, you know. So it is, you know, like these things are you know, they're building. I mean, complete. To be honest, it's like if you ask me, the man was black the whole time. This he spends time as a soul. You know what I mean? And it's like he's a black man. Even if he's not in his body, he's still a black man. You understand,
Right.
you understand what I mean? He's still a black man, even if he's not physically in his black body. So I saw a black man the entire film.
Okay.
So that's how I answer that question. I saw a black man the whole film. He doesn't have to be in his black body. That is a black man. There's a black soul that I'm looking at. You know, so I understand what people are saying. I get it. I get it. You know, but sometimes you can nitpick about something so much that there's no way you can enjoy anything if you're so busy picking everything apart and you're like just nitpicking like, oh, he wasn't black long enough. He needs to be black longer. You know, like, you know, how do you please everybody? You know what I mean? How do you please everyone? You know what I mean? You say we want black leads, boom, there's a black lead. He wasn't black long enough. He should be blacker longer in the movies. Come on, you know, that's the story they told. He's a black man the entire film, you know, so that's my response to that. As far as like Tiana, you know what I'm saying? It's we saw other people get turned into frogs and turned into animals and things like that. I completely and totally get the argument. You know what I mean? I understand, you know, but it's this like this is you know, I make a challenge to people who want those kind of films to happen to get into filmmaking and make those things happen, make those films happen. You know what I mean? Like make them happen. But I mean, right now, you know, Pixar, Disney Pixar made a great film, you know, and the film is surrounded with African American culture. And I appreciate the film, whether the guy was a soul the entire film or whether he was in his black body for 2/3 of the film. It doesn't really matter to me. It's a story that's surrounding black culture. And I appreciated it. You understand what I mean? Like, I appreciated the film. So yeah, I don't mean to get too, you know.
No, you're fine. It's okay.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, to add on to that, also want to say shout out to Kemp Powers, who initially came on Soul to just be a writer, but he had so much influence in the movie that I believe they listed him as co-screenwriter and co-director technically. So and he's a black screenwriter. He also did a movie, I think it was called One Night in Miami. You guys might.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, he also wrote that film as well. So for him being part of the project, and actually obviously you can see a lot of influence with him in this movie. So for folks that, I guess it's just for folks that think that like there was no black influence in this movie, I mean, look, I beg you to just.
I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard there hasn't been any black influence in it.
I'm just saying, you know how I get. They be like, you know how they'll get. So it's just like I overall, from what I've seen with the film, I thought it was a very beautiful movie. I honestly, this literally is probably the first movie to physically make me cry.
I saw your Facebook post on how you had. You was like, oh, this is it. This happened.
I'm legit serious. Like, this is the first movie to literally make me cry. Like, other movies have gotten me emotional before, but the waterworks didn't happen. This one made the waterworks happen. So because it's not just necessarily just, you know, a quote unquote black story, a black movie. Obviously, it's a lot of black culture in it that is featured prominently, but it's literally this character, middle-aged character on top of that, who is trying to essentially basically it's like essentially him discovering the meaning of what life is. you know, and they have like all these different concepts in the movie that I thought were really interesting that some others have pointed out that's what that's essentially like religion neutral. So like, because I mean, of course, you know, folks are gonna find something to be mad about anyway, but it's just one of those things where like they add concepts in it to where it's just like, wow, that's really interesting. Because if you've seen the trailer, you know how, you know, everyone who supposedly dies or whatever, they go off to the great beyond, but he is so determined to try to continue his life, he winds up falling off the path to the great beyond. It ends up in the great before, which is where like the souls are before they live. So it's like when you like with that concept, and then they showing like how like all this stuff is supposed to come together, like how they go down and then they live and da 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 and all that stuff. And it was just like, wow, that's a really, really deep concept. And it was just like the way they went through it. I'm like, man, this is like, this one did a doozy on me, man. Like this was really, really well done movie, man. Like this is, I think like it was funny because someone had made a post said like on a scale of between Cars and Up, because obviously Cars is like the that's like the bottom of the Pixar one. Like between that and Up, it's like
Cars is the bottom. Cars ain't the bottom.
Yeah, you seen that sequel? That second one?
I haven't seen the sequel, but Cars ain't the bottom. No, Cars is
in comparison to everything that they've done, Cars is at the bottom.
Damn, that sucks.
But
Cars ain't definitely not above Toy Story.
But somebody had did like a question where they said like on the scale between Cars and Up, and like for me, I think it surpassed Up, man. Like it's
Up made me cry. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Up made me cry.
And I can understand that because I mean, like Up didn't like
Up made me cry.
Up didn't hit me the way I know it hit a lot of folks, even though like they basically try to rip everybody's heart out within like the first like.
Oh my god! Yes, with you on the line. Oh, don't get me talking about it. Don't get me talking about it.
But other than that, it's just like, dude, yeah, man. Like Soul just wound up being a very, very good movie, man. Like I enjoyed it and I thought it was beautiful, man. Like it really, really was.
So here, you know, Paul Marvel basically agreed that it was beautiful. Cassio, what else? Yeah. What else did you want to talk about with movie? You talked about video game movies being the next.
Yeah. I was saying that I actually think that video game movies are going to be like the next like big thing, because we did the superhero movies for 2010 to 2020. That was like the huge cash grab. I think the new thing that Hollywood's going to try to like tackle is video game franchises, because Mortal Kombat is already coming out next year, right? Is that that's a film, right?
That's that's in. I think it's coming out in March.
Okay, yeah. So it's not a series or anything.
No, it's not.
No, it's a movie. It's a film.
So, and then they're doing Uncharted. We got the casting for Metal Gear Solid. You know what I mean? Like I definitely think like video games will be the next thing that people explore. You know, to make films. There's so many stories to choose from as well. It's like there's a plethora of like stories to just choose from, you know. But,
you know, and again, we talked about this a little bit before, but you know, video games they just got to be careful because the history of video game movies is not a good one. Okay, we could all debate on, you know, different movies that we may have liked, you know, that came from video games, but I mean, as a whole, they have not been, you know, great. Whether it's they changed something drastically, some shit didn't make sense, you know what I'm saying, or where this thing came from, and sometimes it might be the actor who they cast. No offense. But Michael Fassbender in the Assassin's Creed movie was not a good choice. I don't care what nobody say. And he's a good actor. Don't get me wrong. But in that movie,
the direction and the writing for that one, because
that's what I'm saying.
They cast Shaquille O'Neal for Steel.
But you know what? On paper, that was not a bad idea.
That was a good choice.
On paper, that was not a bad idea.
And the movie wasn't even that bad, man.
It wasn't, and I'll even say
They made
this,
a.
even though
Hold on. Here's my thing. Here's my thing about Steel. They made a movie about Steel, a member of the Superman family, and then just kind of ignored all the Superman connections.
Well, I mean, for the movie, for what it was, I mean, that's kind of what you had to get.
Some stuff don't add up in hindsight, but I mean, it's okay. Look, if
It was Shaq, baby.
if you,
It was
it's
Shaq.
it's Shaq. It was 90 Shaq.
Yes,
It was 90
Shaq.
Shaq. Like, that's all we can say. That's only
He was huge. So if Shaq want to be Steel, damn it, you put the man in Steel. Okay, that's
right.
right.
Granted, this followed up after Kazam, but I mean,
no, there's a lot of things happening with movies and video games. Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah.
They already
I heard my boy Knuckles is going to be in it, which is fine because Knuckles is one, my favorite character, but two, I hate how the only character with dreadlocks in the entire Sonic the Hedgehog franchise is the most gullible one. That's racist.
They also made Knuckles not that smart either. Knuckles ain't that smart.
Knuckles is the Brawn.
He's the Brawn, exactly. So we're gonna have a dumb big knuckle character.
That's right. Look, I don't know who y'all. They have to do this. Sega, if they have to do that in the beginning.
They better do that this time because that was a missed opportunity with the.
Yeah, I'm like, why would
there was like ample opportunity for them to do that and they didn't.
Why would you not do that? That's makes no sense at all. Sorry. If they don't do that, it's not the real Sonic movie. It's not the official one.